Hey, welcome everybody. This is John Paul Dutch Dr. Speed Selling. This is Raging Verbalist number 244. Raging Verbalist is every Friday or thereabouts, and we are on YouTube and our YouTube channel, and also on Facebook. And our Facebook group is the Position to Win book, which happens to be one of my books. So we don't talk a lot about politics. We talk about a lot of other things that just hit my mind, and I have to say it. We have to talk about it. And with me, as always, asking the questions that you would be asking if you could ply me with the questions is the ever lovely Sandra. Sandra, welcome.
Hello, how are you doing? Happy Labor Day, I should say.
Happy Labor Day. Yes, yes. Well, we're doing
Woo!
well, and we're trying, and I'm trying to reconfigure and, kind of build out a studio. We talked about content creation. Well, I'm trying to improve and get my studio, and this is our first maiden voyage. So fingers are crossed. So, okay. So
There you
what are we
go.
talking about today?
So we are talking about Labor Day. So when did Labor Day start?
Well, Labor Day started in, officially, supposedly in September 5th, 1882 in New York City. There was the Central Labor Union said, damn it, we need a holiday. And it kind of grew from that point. I think there'd always been some kind of celebration of labor, but it became official that it was going to be in September. Eventually, all these holidays got shoved to Monday, so that way people get a 3-day weekend, and then they don't have to go and because the craziest thing would be to have Labor Day on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or something crazy like that. So it's all jammed up onto the first month or I guess the first Monday in September.
All right, and growing up, what did Labor Day signify to you?
Well, I was never happy about Labor Day showing up because that meant that because I had more of a traditional schedule than people have today. And as soon as Labor Day hit, we knew one thing: school was going to start the next Tuesday. And that was not a fun idea. We'd sit there and go, because this officially ended summer, all the crazy that you did, all the stuff that had happened. And so that was kind of disconcerting for me. And, so that's what it kind of meant. And it really was the end of summer. Now, if you look at the calendar, fall begins sometime later in September, but really that's it. Back to school, back doing that. So how about yourself, Sandra?
Kind of the same thing. Growing up small town, we also had that traditional school schedule, and so it did signify school starting, which is boo. Nobody likes that. But also kind of the start of fall, growing up on a farm, planning harvest in the coming months and that sort of thing. So going out and checking the moisture of the corn with grandpa and those lovely memories. So yeah,
Something you've got to do. You got to know your moisture of your corn. Got to know it.
that's
So
right. That's right.
yeah,
Very important. All
excellent.
right. So has it lost some of its significance over time?
Yeah, I think that almost all holidays have kind of diminished over time. It's just not as big a deal as it used to be. It's kind of and I know some of you are out there who are going to say, John, you sound like, Scroogey kind of guy. And it's an excuse not to work on a Monday. I mean, if you need an excuse, then I guess we can label it as one. And that's what it is. And people get a 3-day, 3-day work or 3-day weekend, and away you go. So, to me, it's yeah, but it has diminished over time. All these holidays used to be like much bigger deals, a much bigger wow factor. But everything starts to blend together, especially in this hyper driven and motivated world. So I think it's kind of lost some of that luster.
And how do you plan to celebrate Labor Day?
Well, before I answer, I'm going to ask you, how will you celebrate? I mean, you're sitting there, you're in Nebraska. What's going to be that exciting thing? I mean, is it corn moisture testing time? What are we going to do?
I plan to do probably nothing. I'm
There you
gonna
go.
take it back to its roots and take the day. Maybe have a pumpkin spice latte, celebrate fall. I'll probably end up doing some things around the house. That's kind of if I am not doing something for work, then it ends up being a get stuff around the house day, and maybe catch a sale. Maybe I don't know.
And aren't we kind of rushing it with the pumpkin spice latte this early in the year? Didn't previously we have to wait until October?
It just keeps going earlier and earlier and earlier. I think now it released like mid-August, and now all other coffee shops kind of follow suit. So, and a Dairy Queen has now released their new fall blizzard menu. So I was looking over that yesterday. And they do have a pumpkin pie one. And for non-pumpkin pie lovers, French silk pie blizzard. So there you go. Might have to celebrate with that.
I mean, traditions are falling all around us. It's a whole march towards the end of time. I got it. I got it. Okay. Well, so what I'm going to do on this Labor Day is, Gabe Batista, who's my co-author, co-conspirator, business partner, is going to be in town, and we're going to spend Monday kind of planning out what's going to happen. We've got a couple of book ideas that we're working on, some other projects that we've got that are in the hopper, and we're probably going to spend all Monday doing and working on that because I really want to make it a productive day. Haven't seen him in a while face to face, talk all the time. So that's what we're going to be doing. And in fact, if you have a business and you have some of the things that you have to get done, well, maybe you take at least a little bit of time and do a little bit of planning. That to me is one of the most interesting things when I talk to coaching clients is to ask them, if they could just spend a little bit of time making some headway. Another thing that you might do is you might consider going out and picking up, well, most businesses fail in the first 5 minutes. It just takes them 3 to 5 years to realize a position to win. And this book is available physically at Barnes and Noble, Amazon, Books a Million, wherever books are sold. You can go ask for it and they will go and retrieve it and get it because it's available physically. You can also go to positiontowinbook.com. Check it out there. You can also ask me to sign it and we'll send it to you. Also available in every digital format in Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Noble Nook, and Apple iBooks. And then, of course, if you are tired of that and you say, well, wait a second, I want to learn how to make remote work for me, which, by the way, there's lots of negativity about remote work. And I can tell you that it is some of it founded and unfounded, but you can go pick up the other book, which is Remote Work for a Better World. And if nothing else, go check out the Raging Verbalist mug. So every day you have a little bit of Raging Verbalist with you every day. And of course, everything tastes just a little bit better in a Raging Verbalist mug. All right, Sandra, what is next as we roll into our 3-day weekend and get everybody ready? What's next?
All right. How can you use Labor Day to promote your business?
Well, it's almost too late to do that, but if you have any kind of means of sending, email, a text, putting up an ad online, is that you might figure out a promotion to use. Labor Day is kind of a good way to do it. It's hard to believe, but we're just a couple of days as this is coming up, and we're going to be 8 months down. So we have burrowed through the year pretty quickly. So you might check out doing something like that. And tying it into Labor Day is pretty easy to do. And anything that can kind of closely get glued to that or even not that close seems to work pretty well because, as Sandra said, she's going to be out there helping the economy one deal at a time. So maybe you come up with a deal to attract some customers. The most important thing to always remember whenever you're going to use any holiday is that you need to have some kind of tie-in to that holiday because it is an event, it's recognized, and it gives people an excuse to spend some money.
And what is the best promotion you've done for a client for Labor Day?
Well, I had a client and he was in the furniture business and he called me on the phone and I was actually in Arizona on my way to Vegas. Now, that is not a nice interstate run. It's going back through 2-lane highways and it's kind of a pain in the neck kind of deal. It's not terrible, but it's a pain in the neck. And as I was pulling out of Phoenix, the phone rings. My client says, listen, hey, sales are a little down. Why don't you put some of your, little magic in place and put together a promotion for Labor Day? Well, it's 4 days before Labor Day. And usually when you're going to put together a promotion, and this is my recommendation of anybody who's putting together promotions, is to build a sequence of things that have to happen before that promotion hits. Not just, hey, here we are, and toss it out there because you'll probably forget things and it won't work as well. Anyway, we're 4 days away and I'm now driving. Now, Unfortunately, the cell network driving on these 2-lane highways, even though it's a very well traveled road, a little spotty. So I get a hold of my then partner and say, hey, we got to put together a promotion for these guys. And we worked very diligently. I mean, I was essentially recording copy, writing copy, putting all that together. And we pulled it off because by the time I got to Vegas, we had finished figuring out the promotion. It ran. He had a great Labor Day weekend, had a great special, and it worked very well. So you can do things with just a little bit of time. However, what I tried to say to him after that is, why don't we build a promotion sequence? Maybe someday we'll do a Raging Verbalist and talk about how to build a promotional sequence. So that way you don't miss anything. Got to have a checklist, got to know what's going to happen next. Because again, trip and fall is not a good way to build any kind of business.
And what promotions have you seen?
Well, I haven't seen as many Labor Day promotions as I thought I would see, but I was at the Costco the other day and they have Halloween out right now. I mean, in full effect. I mean, big, giant stacks and stacks of candy, animatronics, costumes, getting people riled up and revved up for that. And I'm looking at it going, wow, we're like 9 weeks away. I mean, that's a big promotion. So I guess Labor Day is kind of getting pushed to the back of the line because Halloween is already out. I'm thinking they're going to be, we're on to Christmas probably sometime in October, and then probably on Valentine's Day by December. I don't know. It's just wild. I have not seen as many Labor Day promotions specifically. I think it's a missed opportunity. However, Costco. Again, I haven't been to a lot of other stores, but Costco understands their business, and there were people buying stuff like it was going to end tomorrow.
And what should you do to prepare yourself for the holidays coming up?
Well, I think that the thing that any person who's in business should always do is have a marketing calendar. But let's look at the last few months of the year. We got 4 months to go, right? September, October, November, December. I don't think they've changed any of that. So one of the things you want to look at is we've got Labor Day, we've got Halloween, we've got Thanksgiving in the U.S. By the way, there'll be a Thanksgiving in Canada, but it's in October. And then we have Christmas and New Year. All of those holidays can affect your business in a positive way and a negative way. And one of the biggest mistakes people make is that they're always surprised by this. If you're going to get serious and your market responds to it, here's the solution. We're all competing against the fat guy in the red suit at the end of the year. So you either figure out a way to make that work or you go into hibernation and kind of weather the storm. Some businesses, they have no tie into Christmas. I found every business has some tie into all these holidays. Always get a list of all the holidays and start planning that right away. If you do that, you'll become more successful. And once again, it's planning ahead of time, building out the promotions, and then understanding that you need to put those resources in place today. Because let's face it, Costco's already ahead of us. They're already talking about Halloween. Who knows when they're going to kick off the old Christmas promotion? Maybe they just skip Thanksgiving. I don't know. I mean, gluttony is always a big deal for us. We'll see when the first one of those things come out. Hopefully, what you're going to do is enjoy this Labor Day, whatever you're going to do. If you're going to just sit around, enjoy yourself, laze around, do all that things, take the day off. If you need a mental health day, put everything out of your mind. You don't have to be like a crazy maniac, type A personality, going to work all Monday. Or if you're that kind of person, make it a really productive day. But whatever you do, have a great one. And for myself, John Paul Mendoza, Dr. Speed Selling, and the ever lovely Sandra, have a fantastic Labor Day, and we'll see you on the next Raging Verbalist.